As human beings, our visual systems are very complicated and complex. When light hits the eye, it goes first through the cornea, then through the pupil. The pupil also dilates and constricts dependent upon how much light is present. The light goes through the lens, which will refract light onto the retina. There are specialized photoreceptor cells on the retina called rods and cones, which process the different light waves. This sends the optic nerve a signal, which then sends the information to the occipital lobe for processing. And that is how the visual system functions. Olfaction is the sense of smell, and the olfactory system is what allows us to smell. What we smell are airborne chemicals that we inhale over receptors within the nasal passages. Each receptor cell in the upper part of the nose has a cilia. It is covered by olfactory mucosa. Dendrites are located in nasal passages and axons are in the porous portion of the skull. Axon endings and synapses are located in the olfactory bulb. The amount of olfactory receptor cells which humans have is about 300. We are even capable of smelling up to 100,000 odors. Each olfactory receptor cell responds to differing types of odors. The olfactory bulb connects to the medial temporal cortex, which includes the amygdala. It travels from the amygdala to other parts of the limbic system, and because of this, we have strong emotional responses to odors. The gustatory system has taste buds, which are typically in clusters from 50 to 100. Located on the tongue, taste receptors are found around protrusions called papilla. They last a couple of weeks before being replaced. Nerves connect from the tongue to the brainstem to the gustatory cortex and the parietal lobe to be processed. Without our taste buds, we would be unable to taste the flavors of sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami.
The somatosensory cortex is located in a ridge of cortex called the postcentral gyrus, which is found in the parietal lobe. What this is responsible for is for processing somatic sensations. These sensations occur due to receptors that are placed around the body that are supposed to detect touch, proprioception, which is position of the body in space, nociception, which is pain and temperature. However, not everyone is able to feel these sensations, and this is due to agnosias. This includes asterognosia, asomatognosia, and anosognosia. Asterognosia is the ability to recognize objects by touch. Asomatognosia is the failure to recognize parts of one's own body, but usually on one side of the body. And then anosognosia is the failure of neuropsychological patients to recognize their own symptoms. The vestibular system, also known as the balance system, is located within the inner ear and is a sensory system responsible for providing our brain information about motion, head position, and spatial orientation. It is also involved in motor functions that enable us to keep our balance, stabilize our head and body during movement, and maintain posture. Within the inner ear, it consists of 3 semicircular canals that contain fluid and sensors that detect the rotational movement of the head. The nerve impulses are processed in the brain to help us know where we are in space or we are moving. The auditory cortex is located in the temporal lobe on the superior temporal gyrus, which is located directly above the ears. Its primary function is to process sound along with its volume and pitch. Location of the sound is also processed through the auditory cortex. Any kind of damage to the auditory cortex, such as infections, which can cause damage to the cochlea, genetic disorders such as impairment of the cochlea, or acute acoustic trauma, which include loud noises, gunshots, or explosions, can all lead to complete loss of hearing, called deafness. And statistically, there are currently 360 million people who are deaf.